During the time in the 70s, the Italian physiologist, Francisco Cucconi, who came up with a test to say, where is an anaerobic threshold? Now, and this is a very controversial statement, anaerobic threshold, ventilatory threshold is probably a better answer around that. But what did that mean? Now it's saying there's a place that if I push a certain level of effort, it's not maximal and not minimal, it's not long, slow distance, it's not full out sprint, there's a level of effort I want to hit. And in that edge, transition points in where energy systems are actually more or less in play. They're not turning on and off, but where they're more or less in play. There's a sweet spot in there where if you train in that sweet spot and you can improve over time, where you can increase the speed without increasing what he was measuring was heart rate, you can improve that speed over time, then you can improve as an athlete. So you're actually able to maintain a certain speed without requiring your body to encumber so much acidosis or anaerobic type activity. We wanted to measure that sweet spot. Now, there's been studies that have disproven that and proven it, but some of it was that it was an idea that actually did fit well. And if you look at elite athletes over time, they've taken that. I mean, Jack Daniels done that, Maffetone's done that for triathletes and for other athletes. I mean, these are the eminent, David Castille's done this, which is, these are seminal physiologists looking at elite athletes. They know there's that sweet spot. And he tried to capture it in the test to say, here's where you are. So if you can train a lot at this pace, then you can advance just a little bit further. Well, now I look at Respa, it's measuring my breathing patterns. It's saying, here's where you start seeing this curve where what we used to see is heart rate would increase and then would start to level off, right? At some point you reach a maximal heart rate and then start seeing a leveling off. So even if you increase in speed and effort, you just don't see much more. And down here you see a rapid kind of up. And there's this curve, and that's where they were saying this is where the anaerobic threshold is. Well, if you're measuring breathing with athletes, if you understand where that is, you understand that sweet spot exists, how do you translate that? Say, this is where I need to be training, right at this spot, right here. Like at this heart rate, at this depth, at this speed, now I want to start doing the same activity, same breathing, so I'm doing the same gas exchange, right? I'm measuring this. Much better measurement than just a 2-lead EKG, much better than just heart rate. And say, this is where I am, this is where I want to improve. Now start getting faster and faster, and you're shifting that curve to a higher speed, right? That same level of effort, more mechanical efficiency, right? A little bit of physiological efficiency, start pushing that, right? And this is where I'd say that I see Respa as a big win for an athlete, whether you're just trying to get fitness or if you're trying to improve at an elite level. Very simple. If you understand how you want to move forward, increasing your physiological conditioning is one aspect. What is often not discussed is the mechanical efficiency your body needs to go through to run faster, swim faster, row faster. I mean, there's technique involved in these sports. I mean, the actual physical technique. How do you measure improvement in physical technique? How would you do that? And it'd be very difficult with heart rate. It's very difficult because heart rate variables all over time. But with the breathing, you may be able to understand this is my energy expenditure under these conditions, and now I'm seeing a shift in this curve. And I would say that a big component of that's going to be, a big component is going to be mechanical efficiency. So you want to be able to measure that one aspect. And that's where you'll see improvement. Now, for a fitness athlete, you'd see the same thing. You'd see dramatic improvements, right? For an elite athlete, probably not going to see as much. But that 1% margin, let's take a race that's a mile. Let's say it's a 4-minute mile. It's 240 seconds. 1%, 2.4 seconds. 2.4 seconds, if you see somebody get beat in a mile, an elite mile, it looks like forever.